866-928-3310. The CFRN Emini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phones. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Bork. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Monday, 6th day of November, 2017. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Hope you spent a lot of quality time with the family. I saw you in church on yesterday. Tip my hat. Hope you saw it. Michael is on a secret mission. He'll be here in a minute. Let me just give you the numbers real quick, and then he'll be right on. Here in the U.S. cash markets, the Dow up 5 points, NASDAQ up 8, S&P 500 up a little over 1, and the Russell 2000 up 1.5. In the commodity basket, crude oil up $1.50, trading 57.13 last. Gold up $10.70, trading 12.7990 last. In the Asian markets, at the close, the Nikkei was up a little over 9 points, Shanghai a little over 17, the Hang Seng was down almost 7. Last but not least, mixed in Europe as well, the FTSE closed the session up 2 points. The DAX was down 10, and the CAC was down almost 11. So mixed in Asia, mixed in Europe, and all green here at home so far. So I think this is going to be a good week. We had a decent move last night on the S&P 500, as you can see from the chart. If you can't see the chart, go to our homepage at cfrn.net. On the right-hand side of the page, click the big microphone, follow the instructions. You'll be registered all the way through the end of November. You only have to register once per month, and then you have one-click access every day to the charts as well as the chat box. You can go to youtube.com/CFRN/live, bookmark that page, and you got one-click access every day. And there's our secret agent on a secret mission. Michael,
yes,
welcome to the show.
Yes, I am here. Okay, thank you.
That was amazing how you tricked that double agent into stealing your suitcase yesterday. Maxwell Smart would be proud.
Hang on a sec.
Okay, so while I'm hanging, if you're looking at the chart, these are, of course, last week's zones. Partners got this week's zones this morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. And just like last week and every week before, on Thursday we'll roll out this week's zones to the general public. Okay.
Sorry about that, Jada.
No problem.
Jada found a lizard on her curling iron. She was freaking out.
Wow, that could be breakfast or lunch.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
Okay, it's all yours, buddy, if you want it.
All right, I'm taking it.
All right.
There we go.
And we've got charts, so I'll hit mute.
Okay.
And I'll be here.
All right, excellent. Thanks, Dwayne. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Today is Monday, the 6th day of November, 2017. And we are way down here. All right. If you have not taken a free trial with us, you just need to go to the homepage at cfrn.net. And this banner is going to drop down at the top where it says sign up for the CFRN Live Trading Room, 100% free trial, user indicators, learn our strategy. Click here. When you click there, you're going to be brought to this page. Okay. Now, on this page, all we ask for is your email, your first name, and how you found us. Then hit the submit button. Once you hit the submit button, we'll send you all the information. Well, we'll send you a confirmation link. And you got to click on that confirmation link. And then we'll be able to send you all the information you need to get into the live training room. Okay? Now, the spreadsheet. Okay, here we go. Oh, man, I cannot see a thing. On the spreadsheet. All right, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you're going to read all the CFTC risk disclosure stuff down at the bottom. Today, as I said, is the 6th day of November, 2017. Today we made 8 ticks in the Russell, 9 ticks in crude, and 5 ticks in gold. That got us up to $180 a contract. Okay. Whoops. I think I hit the wrong button. Today it took 87 minutes and 7 trade opportunities to get to the goal for the day. At that point we're up $100 a contract, and we took a total of 9 trade opportunities today. So on the month now we're up $851. That's over 4 days, averaging 212 per day. And on the year, 29,133. That's over 209 days, averaging 139 per day. Okay. That's it for the spreadsheet and all that stuff. Now, I'm going to what actually happened. Let's start out with the ES, because I got the ES over here. The ES was range bound all morning. Okay. It worked itself up here into this weekly trading zone, and it just stayed there. Okay, that was the ES. On the way up, there was a long trade from right here. Once we had broken dynamic resistance, it was a long trade from right here. Okay, that was the only opportunity on the ES this morning. Okay. Let's see. Do gold. All right. All right, gold. Let's see, we started out here in the gold, and we only had this one opportunity that we took. We got 5 ticks profit. There was another one right here that we missed. It looks like it probably would have been a break even. Then during the break, the gold really started to move, and it had a long opportunity right here. And it looks like no, the cycle was all messed up. Yeah, and that was really it. The slingshot was kind of messed up, not giving you any opportunities there. Okay, on the euro. We had one break even here on the euro. Okay, and it was a bounce off the BBC here that we missed, and a follow up there that we missed. This would have given us some profit. This would have given a break even, I think. Let's see, over here, there was a leg up right here. That was during the break, and that looks like it, guys. That looks like it. On crude. Wow, crude went all the way up to 57.20. Crude's been really moving today. I mean, it's gone up more than a full $1 today. Okay, but our first opportunity on the crude was right here. We had a break even. Then we had a +1 and a +6 to get us up to +7, and then a +3 to get us to +9. There were 2 opportunities there that we missed, and let's see, during the break, the cycle started going down too steep here. Okay, it needed to do a cycle reset, which it did do right over here, right here. And then give another long opportunity right there, and another one right there. And right now, it looks like it's trying to give some back. It had a shorting opportunity right here off the BBC. And that's about it. Okay, so we're +9 on crude. And the Russell. We swapped the pound out for the Russell today because guys are saying the Russell was moving and the pound was not. So our first opportunity here on the Russell was right here, and we stopped out on that. Then here we picked up 6 ticks to put us at -2, and here we picked up 10 ticks to put us at +8. We missed that one there, and that one there. Then the cycle was wrong. Then there was a change of direction here, and looks like there was an opportunity there that I missed, and there that I missed, and one more there that I missed. Okay, change of direction again, and just a short there. Okay, and that was the Russell this morning. All right, so that's it. That's all I got. Go back to spreadsheet. Okay. Go back to the spreadsheet, and there. Okay, today is Monday, the 6th day of November. We made 8 ticks on the Russell, 9 ticks on crude, 5 ticks on gold. That's $180 a contract. Okay, that's one contract, 2 hours per day. Took 87 minutes and 7 trades to get $200 a contract today, and we took a total of 9 trades. Now, on the month, we're at $851.25. That's over 4 days, averaging $212 a day. On the year, $29,133. That's over 209 days, averaging $139 per contract per 2 hours. Okay. If you have not taken the free trial test, just go here to the home page at cfrn.net, and up at the top where it says click here, click there. And when you do that, you'll be sent to this page where we simply ask for your email, your first name, and how you found us. And just hit submit. Once you hit submit, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on that confirmation link. Okay? If you don't click on the confirmation link, you will not get you the free trial. All right, and that's it, guys. That's it. With that, I can pass it back out to Studio A in fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready.
Why, yes. Yes, I am ready.
Okay, excellent. Excellent.
Now, I just need to take the charts.
Yes.
Okay. One more click and we are done, and you go have some fun.
All right.
On your secret mission.
Yes, on my secret mission. Down under. All right. I see your charts.
Got them? All right.
Yep.
Okay, talk to you soon.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
We'll see ya.
Okay, guys, we usually start out every day talking about Bitcoin and the new all-time high price, but today we'll talk about Ethereum. Ethereum Classic. Our currency is built on the Classic Ethereum blockchain. Ethereum Classic rose to an 8-week high today, the highest level since September 9th. Now, the fork of the Ethereum blockchain is trading at only around $15. As per CoinMarketCap, the 9th largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization has gained 17% in the last 24 hours. Week on week, Ethereum Classic is up 39%, while on a monthly basis it is carrying 21.5% gains. Volume figures show the rally has been in part fueled by Korean exchanges offering trading in Ethereum Classic to South Korean won. As per CoinMarketCap, trading volumes on BitThumb, one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in South Korea, have jumped by 53.5% over the last 24 hours. Elsewhere, the investor community is associating the price rally with the listing of ETC and ETH futures on OKEX, a digital asset trading platform launched by China-based exchange OKCoin. Whatever the reason for the recent gains, the rally looks solid on the technical charts. Price action analysis indicates the cryptocurrency could rally up to about $18 on the next leg. Now, again, the reason that we like Ethereum over Bitcoin, I know Bitcoin's got all the headlines, got its name up in the lights, but Ethereum seems to be favored by banks, financial institutions. It just offers benefits that Bitcoin does not. And so that's where we've decided to plant our flag. And hopefully I'll have some more really important news for you on that topic later this week. Now, some things you should probably know and already do know, and I should have started the show out with this. Our hearts and prayers are with all the families in Texas that are just shell-shocked, and no pun intended with that. I'm sure you've heard a gunman dressed in black and wearing a ballistic vest opened fire with a Ruger military-style rifle at a small Baptist church in southern Texas yesterday, killing at least 26 people. Said that he shot and killed the first victims outside of First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, then went inside and massacred parishioners attending services. An armed neighbor shot the gunman as he left the church. The killer then drove off in his own vehicle. Now, if he'd have come into our church, I'm just going to say this, because if it's not true in your church, you need to talk to somebody in charge. If he had come into our church to do that, he would have got off a couple of rounds, I'm sure, taking everyone by surprise. But then that would have probably been it. He drove off in his own vehicle. The alleged gunman was identified as 26-year-old Devin Patrick Kelly, who was discharged from the Air Force in 2014 after being court-martialed for assault. He was chased by witnesses and crashed and was found dead in his vehicle. The dead at the church ranged in ages from 5 to 72. This was a church that had a congregation of about 300, which means on any given Sunday, there's probably 150 to 200 in attendance. It's absolutely horrific and unthinkable, but with that many people there, we know that it could have been more tragic. But do please keep that community, that church, and those families in your prayers. We've been, now, I've heard no mention of any terrorist activity, Allah Akbar, none of that in this case. But we made a decision probably a year ago to ensure the safety of our congregation. And there's a funny law, it's in Arizona, I don't know if it's in other states as well, but it's okay to have armed security in the sanctuary, but the pastor is not supposed to know who's packing heat, as they say. Why that is, I don't know. Now, President Trump expressed his condolences to those affected by the shooting, tweeting Sunday shortly after the attack that he was monitoring the situation from Japan. May God be with the people of Sutherland Springs, Texas, he tweeted. Vice President Mike Pence also issued a statement on Twitter, writing, Karen and I send prayers to victims and their families in Texas. We grieve with you and stand with resolve against evil. Thank you to the first responders. When asked whether tighter gun control laws could help prevent such shootings, Trump said, mental health is your problem here. He said the initial investigation indicates the killer was a very deranged individual. Well, I mean, I know it's a tired old bumper sticker, but guns don't kill people. People kill people. So, just a terrible thing. Senator Paul Rand suffered 5 fractured ribs in a weekend assault at his home that police said was committed by, of all things, a neighbor. This type of injury is caused by high velocity, severe force. It is not clear exactly how soon he will return to work, as the pain is considerable, as is the difficulty in getting around, including flying. Paul's chief political strategist, Doug Stafford, said in a statement yesterday that investigators say Paul's neighbor, Renee Boucher, tackled Paul from behind while the senator was mowing his lawn Friday afternoon. The neighbor, 59 years old, has been charged with 4th-degree assault, a misdemeanor, punishable with up to 1 year in prison. Anthony Weiner, back in the headlines. He's going to start his 21-month sentence for sexting a teenager. Disgraced former Congressman Anthony Weiner, a New York Democrat, is scheduled to report today for the start of his 21-month sentence for sexting a 15-year-old girl. The judge who sentenced Weiner in September said the crime stemmed from a very strong compulsion. A tearful Weiner said he had been a very sick man for a very long time, and he said he was receiving treatment. In 2011, he resigned from the White House after revelations of the same type of activity with several women, and more allegations sank his 2013 campaign for mayor in New York City. Last year, the FBI's criminal investigation into his activities reverberated in the presidential campaign after agents found emails between Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton and Weiner's wife, Clinton aide Huma Abedin. We all know that story too well. A woman, well, yes, the first U.S. woman to win the New York Marathon since 1977. Can you imagine that? A marathon. It took 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 53 seconds. We all need to get out and get some exercise, don't we? Saudi prince and billionaire tech investor Alawid bin Talal has been arrested. He has invested in Twitter, Lyft, News Corp. What in the world has he done now? Hang on. I'm going to have to look under the hood on this one. Prince Alawid controls the investment firm Kingdom Holdings and is one of the world's richest men, owning or having owned meaningful positions in satellite TV networks as well as in News Corp, Citigroup, and a growing number of tech companies. The Prince and Kingdom Holding, of which he owns 95%, first invested $300 million in Twitter in 2011, 2 years before the company went public. In 2015, he invested another $50 million to increase his ownership in Twitter, and as of last year remained one of the company's largest shareholders. In 2013, Kingdom also acquired 2.5% of China-based retailer JD.com, which went public on the NASDAQ the following year and whose shares have roughly doubled since then. He first began investing in tech in the late 90s and his own shares of both Apple and eBay for more than 15 years. Now, according to the New York Times, the arrests appear to be a move to consolidate the power of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, a son and the top advisor of King Salman, who has announced the creation of a new anti-corruption committee headed by the Crown Prince just hours before the arrests were ordered. According to the New York Times, the Ritz-Carlton in Riyadh was subsequently evacuated, possibly to house the arrested royals, and the airport for the private planes shuttered to stop anyone from fleeing the country. Last year, the prince joined a number of other billionaires in signing up for the giving pledge of Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. Among others to sign up at the time were Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff and the three co-founders of Airbnb and Intuit founder Scott Cook. It's unclear whether Saudi Arabia's newly established corruption committee might seek to confiscate any of the prince's $32 billion. He might need a new lawyer. He's reportedly known at home and abroad, has been outmaneuvering and openly resisting his elders since the king assumed the throne in 2015. In fact, sources have suggested the now 32-year-old prince has the potential to either reshape Saudi Arabia into a more modern, dynamic country or drive it off a cliff. 70% of Saudis are under the age of 30. Wow. And they are uninterested in spending another 30 years living under extremist ideas. In April, the prince unveiled an economic roadmap for the kingdom called Vision 2030. It calls for privatizing 5% of the country's flagship petroleum company, Aramco. Just yesterday, Donald Trump was pitching Aramco, whose shares will debut on the Saudi domestic market, but are also expected to list on the New York Stock Exchange. So, I'm still a little bit confused as to why he was arrested. Well, I'm sure we'll hear lots more about that. It's just not every day that a billionaire gets arrested. Uber may make more money this year selling real estate in Oakland, California than actually selling rides. Now, we've talked about how McDonald's is really in the business of real estate, not hamburgers. But Uber? In 2015, Uber bought the old Sears building in downtown Oakland with the intention of moving 3,000 of its employees to an expanded headquarters in the smaller, less filthy rich city just across the bay from San Francisco, which the company currently calls home. That never happened, and now Uber is selling its 380,000 square foot building to the CIM Group, a Los Angeles-based real estate investment firm, for $220 million. Uber bought the building in 2015 for $123 million. But after never moving in as planned, the company announced in August that it was considering putting the building up for sale. They flipped the Sears building, paid $123, sold it for $220 million. As a company, though, Uber still isn't profitable. In August of this year, the company shared that it had lost $645 million in its second quarter of 2017, which was actually a decrease from the $708 million it lost in the first quarter. Uber booked around $20 billion in rides in 2016, and excluding its China subsidiary, which it sold in July last year, the company clocked in $6.5 billion in revenue. How can a company that loses that much money be valued at $40 billion? To be clear, just because Uber is hemorrhaging money doesn't mean it won't one day turn a profit. It remains, for one thing, in expansion mode. Amazon, after all, didn't register meaningful profits for 2 decades, and now the e-commerce empire is one of the most valuable companies in the world. Uber investors don't seem to be too worried about the losses. The reason Uber gave for leaving Oakland was that the company was looking to strengthen our financial position, which is probably a good idea, considering the ride the company has been on for the past 12 months. Everybody leaving, sexism, sexual harassment, the lawsuit from Alphabet. Whoa. So selling the empty real estate seemed like a good thing to do. Uber's not completely out of Oakland yet. For one, the ride-hail company continues to operate there, and second, the company reportedly plans to lease back a portion of the office space it's selling. You know, I'll never wrap my mind completely around companies losing money having such a huge valuation. John, welcome to the show.
Hello, hi.
So good to have you with us. Hope you had a great weekend.
Thank you. Not too bad, thanks. Did a lot of work. I got some new things going that we might be commenting on the next few. As a matter of fact, we can probably comment on them today, because we put out some alerts this morning that had some pretty spectacular results. I'll be honest with you, I was a bit late to the game on this DCIX that I noticed was doing a dry ships kind of a wannabe on Thursday, and but it's certainly percentage-wise, it's giving dry ships a run for its money. It on Thursday could have bought it for about $1.50, $1.70 maybe. And it hit $28 today, and we sold it at $28. And we actually went back in this morning. We were a bit late to the game this morning. Actually opened at about 15, and went up to 28. But we got from 22 to 28, so we didn't do too badly. And the dry ships also had a bit of a pop. It's kind of not really getting the memo too much. It did run up to we kind of got in from 460 to 490 this morning, or maybe even we got to 5, I think. But anyhow, it's at 460 right now, and it's. I think it's going to have another. The DCIX looks like it's. Don't listen. This is not a recommendation, because it's a very dangerous kind of a deal. This thing going on here, but it is kind of. Flattening out here around the 26 number, and kind of feels like it's going to have another, going to run for the $30 mark. maybe if it can get over 30, it could run to the mid 30s possibly, maybe even a bit more. Remember what happened to HMNY? That's one we shorted all the way from 35.5 down to 9, and we covered and reversed at 9, and we sold it at about 11.5 this morning. We actually traded in and out of it a couple of times from the 9 to 10 sort of thing. But I think that stock has done, you know, it first of all, it's got a terrible balance sheet and a terrible. It's losing. It's one of these things. One of these companies is losing a ton of money, and it's got a crazy set of.
Well, like Uber. I mean,
yeah,
Uber is just hemorrhaging money, and I don't. How do they get those valuations? I just.
Well,
don't
it
understand.
went from 250. It went from 250 in early September to $38, which is insane, and it just went up like a rocket, you know. And then it got hit down again. But you know, it might be in for us. These things can have a bit of a rebound. We're having a very, very good day on the metals. I think it's. I wasn't feeling that well on Friday, but I think I was fairly bullish on gold, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
And I said, in particular, I thought the next move up would be quite dramatic and rapid. And what's particularly good about today's action is it didn't sort of run up right away. It didn't just like go up $10 in 5 minutes. It's been going up steadily all day, and it's been driven by I think I told you I was putting out a buy on the Nugget and the JNUG on Friday afternoon, and that has turned out to be a really great trade. And the dust now, the fact that they're breaking down from here, you know, what looks like a 3-wave rally off the new lows, doesn't really bode very well for the dusts from here on out. And the fact that the Nugget and the JNUG, which actually we just sold a short while ago, just for the pullback here, and we'll be rebuying them on any kind of another. You know, I don't think this move is over. I think it's just beginning. But honestly, the Nugget could go to 55 from here. If you do the eyeball on the chart, it looks like it could go to 55. And that means in what we were talking about, we said either it's going to go in November, the gold, or in January 18 or February 18, and it's going to go like a rocket when it happens, and it may already have started. So the fact that the gold is going up means you have to be very, very careful of stocks right now. Doesn't mean to say the stocks will go down right away, but there's a few stocks that are coming off today. First of all, the drug stocks are acting badly, and the LAVU's got a kind of a little bit of a head and shoulders type top. The SOX semiconductors also come off a bit this morning, which is something to be careful of at these levels. The VIXs are, there was sort of a small scalp buy here a short while ago, but I think you've got above 15 on the UVs would be probably a good place to have a buy stop, and above 33.70 or so on the VIX, just in case. If there's a late sell-off today, that would not be good in my view. It might lead to something really bad happening the next few days. And as we've talked about going into November, probably the further we get into November, the more risky the market could get. It's not there yet. It's actually acting pretty well. And actually we did short the market late Friday near the highs, and we covered them on a bit of a sell-off overnight and went back long. So that's our position at the moment. But I would say what I've said to people is to sell the PM lows. In other words, if we go to an afternoon low on any of these indices, that's where I'd get out right now. And that on pretty much any stock, to be honest with you. I think if we were to break down to any PM low, that would be probably a pretty good exit point. Just because you don't want to push your luck too much with this market. Trump's arriving in Korea, or he's already there, and this guy's probably going to pull some.
That's a dangerous place for him to be.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in striking distance.
He is. I don't think they're going to try anything, but you never know.
You never know.
If you've got a guy who's crazy enough to go and shoot up a church, anything's possible. It's.
Well, what a senseless tragedy that was.
It really is. And I was thinking of you. As soon as it happened, because you're a pastor, and it could happen to you. So
well, we've taken measures at our church where I attend now, and if something like that were to happen, of course, being taken by surprise, they would get off a couple rounds, but they'd be stopped in their tracks pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, good for you. So it's just, this is the unfortunate world we live in these days. The other thing, you were talking about Prince Al-Walid there a while back.
Okay, yeah. What did he get arrested for?
Well, he's a bit of a busybody, and he probably was going above his pay grade, maybe pushing somebody around, he had a spat with Trump before the election. Now they're sort of buddies again, since I think he had quite a bit to do with setting up the meeting in Saudi Arabia. So they're sort of like, tolerating each other. But there's a lot of, you can imagine with 5,000 princes, it's almost like sort of Roman times, Julius Caesar. And, they're worried about Judas and stabbing in the back and that sort of thing. And maybe they're worried that this guy's too powerful, and maybe he's got his own circle of princes, and he's got a lot of money to throw around.
$32 billion.
Yeah. And then on top of that, he may have done some bad things as well. But to like you say, to arrest the guy who's he's probably the richest billionaire arrested in history. I don't think there's anybody been that rich who's ever been arrested before.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
You just don't you just don't hear of that.
Yeah. It's done wonders for the oil today, which we said it could go to 57 real quick. that's where it got to this morning, with 57.30. And the oil
crude and gold both looking good today.
Yeah, and the oil stocks. Well, remember, we actually mentioned that a few weeks ago. I did say that the oil breaking above 55 might help the metals higher, and also the grains, which is, I think the soybeans are trying very hard. Well, I would say they're probably trying to position themselves for a break, through 1,000. Today is what, the 6th, 7th?
Today is the 6th.
6th. So we've got 3 days till the thing comes out. That's probably going to be what makes it go through 1,000 if it reacts the same way as the last time. So it's another incredible day really in these markets today. There was a nice little trade this morning. Coors, the retailer, gapped pretty sharply higher, and it was pretty much a buy on the opening. Went from about 52 to 55. And I'm watching, IBM, which actually might possibly be generating a buy signal right about here. This stock had a fantastic run up a few weeks ago, and it's come back to not quite the gap, but maybe test the 150 area, and I think there's another run on the upside in IBM. Also, AMD gapped up this morning, although it's coming off a bit. I think AMD might be a rebuy here, possibly above 12 or up above where we are right now.
Did you see the IBM news today?
No, what was it?
IBM's promoting the use of blockchain technology in the legal distribution of cannabis. According to a document issued to inform the government of British Columbia, IBM is touting the use of blockchain in order to ensure consumer safety and to include regulatory oversight in the legal distribution of cannabis from seed to sale. IBM said that the blockchain could help the provincial government take control of product sourcing and sales, thus helping eliminate black market sales completely. IBM has been revealing various blockchain supply chain trials in recent months, including one with Singapore's port operator to automate the flow of documents between trading partners.
Yeah. We actually sold IBM, put out an alert to sell IBM at around 161, I think. So given that we've taken $10 on the downside, I'd probably be, given what you said to me, I'd probably take a shot at going long IBM before the close today. Maybe around the 151 area if it gets up there. It might be a kind of a turn. Because, sometimes you get a little bit of an upturn before the close of the day, just like the Nugget and the JNUG did on Friday, and then they turn into something much bigger. The minute that IBM starts going up, it'll probably have a pretty strong run. And maybe GE as well. GE is looking pretty sick today, but it could be ready for it's back above 20. Could be ready for a rebound back to 23 or 24, which again is a pretty nice trade, and not too much of a sweat.
I agree. Yes.
The other areas that are going well today, all of the softs are doing quite well. The coffee actually just doesn't seem to want to go below the low 120s. Taking another shot at the highs. Cocoa, which you remember I said it's kind of got the latent bull market. It's got knocked down a few times, but look at the rebound today. It's really impressive. Sugar as well is which is a good sugar, gold, soybeans. That's what will and also when we're getting to this stage of the bull market, there could be a day, could even be tomorrow, where all of a sudden you get a huge commodity surge, or maybe this week, with the grains, and that could be be the start of trouble for the market. The Fed chief, this Taylor, the Powell guy, seems like a very nice fellow. He may be a real inflationist type, which may explain the delayed reaction with the gold starting to go higher.
Your volume just fell way off.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. I mean, I can still hear you, but it's just like it was like you turned the knob down.
No, I didn't change. I haven't changed anything.
Okay.
Maybe my computer's running out of CPU power or something, like you were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it for the day. The other thing I wanted to say is this lumber. Remember, we had a limit down move, then we had a follow through, which didn't go limit down. That's turned into a limit up move right now. That is pretty bullish. When you get a limit down, then followed by a limit up, that's a pretty good sign. We actually could hit an all-time record by tomorrow if we go limit up from here. We hit 459, which is 1 point off the record. So if we actually lock limit up tomorrow, we'll go through the old record limit with a limit move, which would be pretty spectacular. So the lumber has been quite an incredible trade this year.
Yeah, and that bodes well for housing.
It sure does. Yeah. So, listen, have a great afternoon. Thanks very much for the invite.
John, thank you. And we will talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, all the best. Bye-bye.
All right, have a great afternoon.
You too.
And now our good word for the day. I'll pull up my notes, take a closer look. Now, how many times have you tried to meditate? Come on, you can tell me. Psalm 1:2. On his law he meditates day and night. A lot of different people have different interpretations of what meditation really is. What's it all about? Why do you do it? How do you do it? Some say focus on one thing. Others say make your mind go blank. It's a mixed bag. Butterflies cover more ground, but bees gather more honey. That's because the butterfly just flies over the flowers, whereas the bee lands on each one and stays there long enough to extract the nectar. That's the difference between merely reading your Bible for a few hundred minutes and taking time to actually meditate on what you're reading. Meditation isn't something difficult and mysterious that only scholars and spiritual people do. It's just thinking deeply and continuously about a passage of Scripture, memorizing it, letting it take root, and owning it until it becomes a life force operating within you each day. The point isn't how much Scripture you memorize, it's what happens to you in the process. Meditating on God's Word clarifies your understanding and corrects your conduct. It enriches your thinking and equips you by making you think different thoughts than if you were, watching TV or texting or talking on your phone while driving or even shopping. The psalmist writes, "The law of the Lord makes them happy, and they think about it day and night." They are like trees growing beside a stream, trees that produce fruit in season and always have leaves. Those people succeed in everything they do. Why? Because they meditate on the Word. That scripture was Psalms 1:2-3. So the point is, meditating on God's Word can be the cure for moral and spiritual weakness, for a life with no focus, for a lack of intimacy with God, for chronically weak faith that causes you to fail and keep missing God's best for you. Open your Bible, read it, and pray, "Lord, what are you saying to me?" And meditate on His answer. And that's our good word for the day. And that's going to cover it for today. Monday, 6th day of November, 2017. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading Emini Futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.